Hi guys. So I'm going to do another quick video on reviewing all of the skills from this chapter. Hopefully this will help for tomorrow's test. So I'm going to X out of that. And we're gonna do this. I will write on here. Sorry. So over here, write the product using an exponent. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. How many 3s do you see? Well, I see 4 3s, right? So 3 is your base, and you write your little exponent as a 4. So the answer to this one would be B. All right. Number 4, 3 cubed, or 3 to the third power, as a product of the same factor. So what that means is you're going to just write this in expanded form. Which one, A, B, C, or D, shows me 3 3s? 3 times 3 times 3. It's definitely A. This one, B, would be 3 to the second power. That's B. C would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 to the fifth power. And D would be 3 to the fourth power. So neither one of those are 3 to the third. The answer would be A. Number 5, identify the step when evaluating the expression. So the first step, what are we going to do? We have subtraction, we have division, we have addition, we have multiplication. PEMDAS, right? PEMDAS. We did this in class. Almost this whole chapter we've done in person. Parentheses. Does this problem have parentheses? No. Does this problem have exponents? No. Does this problem have multiplication or division? Yes. How do we do this? Multiplication before division? Not this time. This time, division comes before multiplication. So your answer for this one would actually be 10 divided by 2, because multiplication and division weigh the same. You just complete them from left to right. So for this particular problem, number 5, you would definitely solve 10 divided by 2 before you do 6 times 1. Number 6, find the value of 8 plus 12 divided by 4 plus 6 times 1 plus 2. First thing we're going to do is, just like in the last one, we're going to divide. So it's going to be 8 plus 12 divided by 4 is 3 plus 6 times 1 plus 2. The next thing you're going to do is 6 times 1, because we have to get rid of all multiplication or division. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 2. All right. Change colors here. Now we just add from left to right. This would be 11 plus 6 plus 2. And I don't want to go into the next box, so I'm going to bring it over here. The next thing we're going to do is 11 plus 6, which is 17 plus 2. And then finally 17 plus 2, which is 19. So for this one, your answer would be A. Number 7, evaluate the expression. The expression is 300 divided by Q. All right, 300 divided by Q, and Q equals 20. So substitute the 20 in for the letter Q. Instead of 300 divided by Q, it's going to be 300 divided by 20. Then we do our math, and you are allowed to use a calculator, but I'm just going to do it over here, or at least show you how to set it up. In your calculator, you're going to actually write 300 divided by 20, or if you want to challenge yourselves and do it longhand, you can. This would be 20 and 100 and 15. It goes in evenly, so your answer would be D. Moving along. Same idea here, 6 times 7 minus 2p. What does it mean when a letter and a number are touching? It means multiplication. So let's substitute it in. 6 times 7 minus 2 times 5. Instead of the P, we're going to write 5 there. So then 6 times 7 is 42 minus 2 times 5, which is 10. 42 minus 10 is 32. That would be the answer to 8. Moving along. Write an algebraic expression, which is a variable and a number without an equal sign, for the phrase 6 times z. It's literally telling you times here, so it's multiplication. So which of these 4 represents multiplication? We just said anything when it's a letter and a number touching, we just said it is multiplication. So the only answer here would be B. Write an algebraic expression for the phrase 17 more than R. More than means addition. Addition. Which is the only one here with addition? That would be C. Determine whether the two expressions are equivalent. Now remember, equivalent means equal. Not equivalent means not equal. If so, tell what property is applied. So right away, we discussed in class that if the problem is subtraction or division, does it involve a property? I'm hoping that you're answering no. The only time it involves a property is with multiplication or addition. Again, another easy one. It is division. So the answer here is no. There is no property. Which shows the distributive property when 8 times 22. Now, I had a couple questions about this. You have to factor out a common factor for 8 and 22. Nothing times 8 gives me 22, right? But 2 can go into both of them. Oh, I'm lying. I'm sorry. They want you to pull out the, we did this in class. I lied. Let's backtrack. Let's erase this. This is in common factors because there's no variables. So you're just going to take out the 8 and then you're going to expand 22. Now, how do we get 22? It's 20 plus 2, right? So that's exactly what you're going to write here. We did this in class also. If it had a variable here, if there was a letter here, then you would have looked to factor out that 2. You would have looked for a common factor. Sorry, I hope I didn't just screw you guys up with that. Another one, solve it mentally. Same idea. I mean, listen, I know you guys are home and you're going to probably use your calculators. But if you're going to solve it mentally, just to show you what they mean 9 times 30 plus 9 times 6. So 9 times 30 is 270. 9 times 6 is 54. And then when you add up 270 and 54, you should get 324. So here the answer is C. Simplify the expression. So this is the last thing we just did last week. The first thing we actually did not in class. So you've only had one lesson where we haven't had formal instruction. I will try to make another video before the end of tonight. Sorry, I had a lot of virtual meetings today, but I'll try to make a video on this topic. But here's a little brief introduction of it through my mouth with my formal lesson. You are going to combine like terms. That's what simplify expression means. So here's a 9 and here's a 3. They are alike because they do not have a variable. There's nothing you could do with that variable. It has to stay the same. But what is 9 plus 3? It is 12. So your answer is actually going to have the variable in it. You can't solve for this yet. Next chapter you will. This one. The only reason why you can combine this 4 with this 8 is because the 8 has an X. So technically, if it was addition, you wouldn't be able to combine it. Because it's multiplication, you can. So all you're going to do, here's your problem for X, is distribute, right? Distributive property, 4 times 8, which is 32. And you have the X there. 32X is your final answer. I'm going to clear out my writing. Grade it. Sure. Yeah, these two I got wrong because I didn't show you them. I don't know why they're in this chapter. We didn't formally go over this 1 and 2, so I didn't do them. But the rest of them we got all correct. I would love to give you a quiz just like this, but a lot of you are struggling with getting onto your ebook. So this is in the ebook. I cannot formally give you this, but I am giving you the quizzes from this week. So the one you were given all week to practice, I'm pretty sure I'm going to give you the exact one. I'm going to look through the questions tonight and see if there's anything that's confusing, and maybe I'll get rid of it. But since it is a test, I was going to do 20 questions. I'll see what the questions have to say, but just practice it, practice it, practice it. And then tomorrow you'll take an actual graded version. If you have any questions, please just message me on Classroom. I know I'm technically not supposed to be on right now, but I will do my best to answer you guys. And tomorrow I will release the quiz at probably 8 o'clock in the morning. I know some of you wanted me to do another Google Meet at like 11:30, but I will try. You do have to take your test. So if you want to meet, we'll talk tomorrow and we can try to do a Google Meet quick. Hopefully this helped. Let me know. And that is all. Just wait for the internet to stop.